Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. I'm Kristi Shive, and today we are back with Kayla Watts. She's an agent on special assignment for community recovery and resiliency for the University of Kentucky. And Kayla, today you're going to help us think about some ways that we can help prepare our children for this winter weather hazardous conditions.
And, when we talk about weather or major events, sometimes we maybe don't think about preparing the entire family. The last thing that we want to do is for weather in general to cause any kind of trauma for our children if possible. And so, some ways that you can prepare your children and family for winter weather in particular is really to involve them in the process of becoming prepared. Talking with them, hey, we're going to do a last minute grocery run, and here are some things that we're going to get in case we're home for a few days together. What would you like for us to pick up, maybe to have as a snack? Include them, get their input. Some other things that you can do to involve them around the house is to talk about, if we get snow, that means we get to play in the snow. And so we better go ahead and get our shovel and our sled out, and let's go ahead and lay out some clothes or things that maybe we would need to go out and play in the snow. And so really preparing them so that when we do get that winter weather, it's not so much as a shock for them. Um, Routine is so key. We talk about this a lot, especially with younger children. And so, explaining to them, we've received this weather, so our routine's going to be a little bit different. I know that we normally do this at this time, but we're going to have to, move it on down the timeline of the day, so to speak. And so just really having that dialogue and involving them in that preparedness so that you don't wake up and it's just a, oh my goodness, situation. It's a great way to help prepare the family. Another part of the family that sometimes we don't think about are our pets or our livestock. And so we need to be prepared for them as well. We've had some really cold temperatures here in Kentucky. And so people have been advised, to bring those pets in, make sure they have extra food and water, heat lamps, different things like that. And so you can involve your children and family members in helping prepare those pets and livestock as well. And so it's a full family effort, if you will, and it kind of lessens the blow of the winter weather that we receive. So, if you're a producer, you're regularly checking that livestock and the weather, you're watching that like crazy. One thing that I would like to mention though is to make sure that livestock does have extra water feed and that there's a way for those producers to get to that livestock if it's spread out. We have a lot of farmers that have their livestock on separate land, from where they actually live and things like that. So just making sure that there's a vehicle, an ATV or something that's serviced and ready to go should they need to use it to go check that livestock in the winter weather.
Definitely, Kayla. I know that we all have probably felt cooped up at times when we are in the house for several days. So, such a great tip. And of course, at the University of Kentucky, we always have recipes, including some shelf stable ingredients that might be good to have on hand for when you are stuck inside. Cooking can be such a great activity. Before we wrap up, do you have any other tips on where to find information to plan for future weather in Kentucky?
Absolutely. So, in a previous session, we talked about the National Weather Service. We also talked about the Ag Weather Station on UK's campus. An online site that is wonderful is ready.gov. That is our federal government site that has tons of information on any kind of weather or natural disaster that you could ever imagine. I highly recommend that people check out that site to be prepared.
Thank you so much for being with us today on the Farm and Home Show, and we'll see you next time.